Peggy Scott Laborde, and welcome to Steppin Out, spotlighting the New Orleans area's arts and entertainment scene. Seated at our table tonight, Val Killion, here with the Amelia Earharts dance crew, who'll be performing for us a little later. Welcome, Val. And you look terrific. You look wonderful. Great to see you. Poppy Tooker, with that exclamation point, host of the WWNO radio program, Louisiana 8. Hey, Miss Poppy.
Hi, Peg.
Hello. And making his Steppin Out debut, Tim Wolff, producer of the documentary Sons of Tennessee Williams, airing on WYES once again in February, and it concerns the gay carnival scene in New Orleans. We're really excited, and I love this program, so we'll talk more about that. Welcome, Tim.
Thank you.
And Steppin Out theater critic, Mr. Alan Smason, who also happens to be the editor of the Crescent City Jewish News. But first up, hello, and Miss Poppy.
Well, we're going to start off with some food porn, because, you know, I love it. And sometimes I just see things during the week that I say, oh, my goodness. And wait until you see this first picture I have. This is Isaac Toupes of Toupes Meadery's wife, Amanda Toupes. And she is holding in her hand a Painted Hills grass-fed 40-day dry-aged ribeye. Okay, look at that meat with brown butter radishes and Louisiana shallot compound butter. I have been there on Thursday nights lately, and the food is just blowing me away. How about sweetbread poutine? Who ever heard of such a thing? It's fried sweetbreads and cheesy potatoes, luscious, and crab meat fondue with potato chips and French bread.
Ooh.
I mean, oh my goodness, it was so good. Oh, and so what I want everybody to know is that Isaac is hanging in there on Top Chef. And so he and Amanda are watching. It's really hard. That was the Bananas episode where he got slammed by Emerald. And he was very sad that night, but brave to watch at the bar. And he continues now on Top Chef. It's at a new time at 8 o'clock on Thursday nights on Bravo. It's some fun to go watch at the restaurant.
We happened to be passing by Toupes on Carrollton last night. It was like 10 o'clock, and there were lots of people in the restaurant. Okay.
I was there. Okay, so new from the crew at Bayou Beer Garden, I think this is going to be a hot new deal. The Bayou Wine Garden, and it's opening tomorrow, Saturday the 23rd. It's on North Rendon Street. So it sort of is like you've got the Bayou Beer Bar, and then you've got the wine bar, and they back up to each other, and they share this gorgeous courtyard that has its own bar with 16 wines on tap, a gurgling fountain, heaters, huge umbrellas. Inside, there's another 8 wines on tap. They also have bottles available. There's delicious food, cheese pairings, gourmet sandwiches, loads of house-cured charcuterie, and they're going to have a lunchtime there as well, and all that will be available. And the kitchen is sort of partially open to the bar, so customers can talk to the chef and get recommendations about wine pairings from the chef, which is cool.
So, Poppy, let me make sure I understand. So the Bayou Beer Garden is on Jeff Davis,
right
near the old brake tag, what used to be the brake tag station. Right. So this is sort of around the corner?
Yes, but it's around the corner before you get to, it's around that corner.
Okay.
So, yeah, North Rendon.
Thank you.
And 2 girls, 1 shuck, will pop, it's a pop-up, will pop up with raw oysters in the courtyard in the coming weeks. So I think that's going to be great fun. Now, did you check out the Jazz Fest lineup? Like, all I can say is Neil Young. But anyway, during Jazz Fest, new this year, the Monday through Wednesday of the week in between, the second week, the 25th through the 27th, there's going to be a new festival, just what we needed. It's the NOLA Crawfish Festival, and it's going to take place at NOLA Brewery and Tap Room. There's big name bands. I mean, John Cleary, big names, 5,000 pounds of crawfish boiled every day, and ice cold draft beer straight from the source. I think that's going to be a great time, and there's tickets that you can get in advance, so make your plans. And thinking about Valentine's yet? Because we're going to have a Valentine's this year. Mardi Gras is going to be over. Dinner Lab has changed their format, and you don't have to be a member anymore. And on February 13th, they're going to solve your Valentine's problems with an evening of sultry and salacious. Chef Rita Bernhardt, formerly of restaurant August in Bacchanal, is doing a 5-course menu that includes things like, oxtail ragu, pork belly, dark chocolate brownie with foie gras caramel, candy cap ice cream and hazelnuts, 5 courses, $45.
That's a deal.
Dinner Lab, you can get in.
Wow. And Dinner Lab is a nationally known company, too. but
Dinner
based in the
Lab
city,
is a
yeah.
big nationally known company. I think it's not $45. I have to check that price.
It might be a little higher.
You know what? The reason I'm saying that is because the next thing I'm going to talk about my pick is a $45
It's
$5 course.
$75. I'm
Thank
sorry.
you. Thanks.
We
I'm
have a
so glad.
typo.
Thanks for
We have a
correcting
typo.
me.
That's
Thank you.
okay.
Okay. Thanks,
That's
Peg.
all right. We ain't perfect.
All
That's
right.
okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. And turning to Val. Val, last year in some of the parades, I saw this wonderful marching crew. You and others. Tell us about the Amelia Earharts.
Yes,
named after, of course, the wonderful aviatrix. Okay.
Absolutely. We formed Labor of Love. Many of us have a sincere carnival background, missed it tremendously, and we thought instead of parading one day, why not have many days? And we were embraced by many crews, and transportation in our city is so significant. Amelia Earhart stayed here at our lakefront airport, which just reopened, so historical moment, and we just want to cause as much turbulence as possible.
Now, Val, indeed, some of your members are former stewards and stewardesses. Huh?
We do have 2 former flight attendants and from various airlines, and they give us many pointers and stories that we promise not to tell.
There we go. I think recognize Melissa Gordon in that one. But we also have a list of all the different parades. But that's pretty good exercise, huh?
Absolutely.
Look at that. So you kick it off with Cleopatra, but that'll be in a lot of mostly the uptown route, huh? On St. Charles Avenue. Great fun. So initially, though, you were inspired by, you were in Venus, involved with Venus,
yes,
Queen Miss.
I was a float lieutenant in Venus, and Alan's mom was one of my mentors.
So much a part of it.
So, and just, I was married during the police strike, so very ingrained in our history, and just found a very common similarities with some other ladies, and we formed the Hearts, and then we had gentlemen approaching us as well, and that spawned into the cabin crew. So we have pilots and stewards and TSA agents.
Great. And if somebody wants to know more about the crew or possibly join it, you have a website?
It's AE Cabin Crew.
AECabinCrew.com. Okay, very good. There you go, the Amelia Earharts. And now, though, we're delighted because you brought some of your ladies around with us, and so we're going to go and visit with the Amelia Earharts who are performing for us. Let's take a look.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. On behalf of our flight crew, I'd like to welcome you aboard our flight today.
I said, hey, 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 yeah. I said, hey, 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 yeah. I said, hey, 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 yeah. Come on, everybody, take a trip with me. Way down the Mississippi, down to New Orleans, where the honeysuckle's blooming on the honeysuckle vine, and love is blooming there all the time. Every Southern belle is a Mississippi queen, down the Mississippi, down in New Orleans. I said, hey, hey, yeah. I said, hey, yeah. I said, hey, hey, yeah.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Live, baby, yeah. Now that the day is over, I got a new sensation. Perfect moments, but something impossible to refuse.
can go to their website and check out the Amelia Earharts itinerary, aecabinCrew.com. And also, just a reminder, they have almost 60 members, so we saw a wonderful portion of them. They did a great job. Thank you. And we've got our weekly artist spotlight. Tonight we are featuring paper flowers similar to the ones that you would see in some Mardi Gras parades. We have featured the work of Caroline Thomas and Brian Bush over the last couple of weeks. And tonight, for our third installment, we're featuring the work of Dana Bueller, a Louisiana native. Bueller has worked as a painter, sculptor, and multimedia artist in the Mardi Gras float building industry, and also the sculpture and scenic industry for the film scene. The artists call themselves the Carnival Collective, and their work is on view at Miette, the store Miette on Magazine Street. The mission of the group is to urge everyone to enjoy the artistry that goes into many parades. Visit iHeart Miette, and other locally themed items. And Miette is right near Juan's Flying Burrito. Only in New Orleans do we say it's right near Juan's Flying Burrito on Magazine Street. And now we turn to Tim. Truly a labor of love. How many years did you work on this documentary?
Oh, I started a little bit before the storm, and then the storm came, wiped me out like so many other people. And right when I got back, I figured I had nothing to lose, and started the production, inspired by your segment, honoring the gay Mardi Gras crews that I'd seen before.
Delighted to hear that.
It took me 4 years, and we premiered 2011, we had a premiere at Palm Springs International Film Festival.
The Sons of Tennessee Williams, quite the intriguing title.
Yeah.
And of course, the gay carnival crews, I mean, some of them actually started in the late 50s, early 60s, the crew of Yuga being an early one.
Right. I mean, we now believe that Yuga was the first gay crew, but you got to figure there were gay crews back from the beginning,
which were raided on occasion. People
but all
were
very
arrested.
secret. And, you know, at that time,
Hard
it
to
was
believe,
illegal.
but yes.
It was illegal for gay people to associate in public, and it wasn't an inferred illegality. It was specifically illegal.
Incredible.
As well as, you know, physical touch. You're at a bar and you say, "Oh, that was funny." Boom, a vice cop comes and takes you away.
Couldn't even do that. Now, you've traveled with the documentary all over the world. You were in Korea.
Yeah, I was started off in China.
In China, we'll show
there was
that in
the
just a minute,
Beijing
too.
Gay and Lesbian Film Festival. It was an event that was biannual, but it had never been able to happen because the police would come and raid it. They would get wind of it. So it never actually happened. It was 12 years in existence before. But the U.S. Embassy said, you know, we'll host the event, and that would give a sanctuary to the event. The Chinese government cannot come onto embassy property and shut it down or take anybody away. So they invited me. I was invited by the director of the film festival, but the embassy invited me to come over. And a lot of people don't realize that embassies all around the world are programmed for cultural exchange. So I work for the Cultural Affairs Office, and Secretaries Clinton and Kerry established LGBT concerns as a focus for cultural affairs programming. So I've been to China, 4 cities in China, and then I went to South Korea on a separate trip. And last summer I was in Honduras and Costa Rica. I was there starting a LGBT video documentation project of history. And I go to Vietnam and Burma.
That's amazing.
That's right after Carnival to do the same thing. So it's amazing. It's a nice bonus after the moderate success of the movie to be able to travel like this.
Congratulations.
And brag about New Orleans, because that's what it's about.
You know, of course, the list is long, but we have so many heroes on the gay carnival scene, including Albert Carey, who's been involved for a very long time, and many, many more. We will be showing an excerpt. Set up this excerpt for us.
This is about the establishment of Amun-Ra. Amun-Ra was the 3rd crew, I believe. It started in 1965. And Mike Moreau is a fixture in the movie, and you'll see him talk about the first ball. It was actually somebody, you know, in the first few years of the balls, nobody was allowed to take pictures, not even the crew members themselves, because it was dangerous to have photographic evidence of, you could lose everything. So by some miracle, they got this 16mm footage of the first Amun-Ra ball in 1966. Wow. And that's what you'll see here. And it's got Jimmy Keys is another of the subjects that was involved in that first year. And so that's what this is.
And now let's watch a clip from the Sons of Tennessee Williams.
Yuga had been raided, and we knew that there was a very good possibility that we could be raided. The doors were locked downstairs. Policeman was there. You showed him your invitation. You got in. If the police had come to raid us, find the first female you can put your hands on and start dancing with her. Instead of having a debutante, as they did at the straight balls, we had a debutante. Of course, the maids were all men in female attire.
Then I was Basin Street because I was Lulu White, you know, the famous madam on Basin Street. There I go with the fan.
There you are with your fan, yeah.
I love to twirl.
Always a camp. You didn't have a party unless you invited Jimmy, because Jimmy was free entertainment.
Such a tramp.
Call me Jezebel.
Jezebel.
Next is the famous Canal Street Ferry. That is me. My first time entertaining any place. I kept saying, "Hello world, my name is Rose, let me entertain you." And I shot out of the back like a cannon, just going crazy. Most of us had no idea how to do makeup. So the first year we got the Undertaker from Boatman's to come and he did our makeup. If you wonder why we didn't look so good, maybe that, because we kept moving and he wasn't used to doing makeup on people that move.
Oh my gosh.
The Sons of Tennessee Williams airs right here in WYES, Channel 12, Monday, February 1st at 10:30 p.m. and Thursday, February 4th at 10 p.m. And New Orleans Magazine's quiz queen, Julia Street, has a question for us. Last time, Joanne Lanou named the Carnival cruise with King Sargon and the Dictator as their monarchs, Babylon and Le Coup d'Etat. Now tonight's question. 2 Carnival crews are named after ancient cities, one located in Greece, the other in Mesopotamia. What are they? Email your answers to steppinout@wyes.org. Our prizes: a year's subscription to Louisiana Life magazine, the book New Orleans Mardi Gras Moments by Judy Batoni and me. And we have a t-shirt by WYES, worn by WYES staffer Steve Golombieski, with the message, throw me something, mister, from our friends at wearablevegetables.com. You can visit WYES.org for our online calendar to see our lineup of events. And you can link to our WYES YouTube channel to view our program on our homepage. And now, Alan.
Well, I remember watching Steppin Out many years ago when our dear friend Al Shea made a pronouncement that I thought was pretty outrageous but pretty accurate. He said at that time, if you recall, that the late Cynthia Owen was the greatest musical star in New Orleans. And I'm here to make a similar pronouncement that Shelby Mack, who's the star of Rivertown Theater for the Performing Arts production of Sweet Charity, is now in that same rarefied air. Shelby is not only a triple threat, she's a quadruple threat. And I'm going to tell you about that more later. She sings like an angel, she dances like a gazelle, and her personality pours through her acting like nobody else. She really was first noted as Patty Andrews at the World War II production that they did of the tribute to the Andrews sisters. Director Gary Rucker has pulled out all the stops for this, which is probably their best production since last year's Will Rogers Follies, which I so thoroughly enjoyed.
Good, yeah.
And a shout out also to Eric Porter for his fantastic set and technical designs, and Linda Fried's costumes. So there's some major support for the ladies there, from Jessica Mixon and Kelly Fushi and other ladies in the Fandango Ballroom. But, you know, I got to tell you, the music by Cy Coleman, the lyrics by Dorothy Fields, and the book by Neil Simon are all excellent. It was, of course, the brainchild of the legendary Bob Fosse. Other notables in the show are Ken Good Jr. as Oscar Lindquist, and, of course, that's Charity's love interest, and Louis Dudosset Jr. as the ballroom owner Herman. The score is conducted live by music director Alan Payne. It's a fantastic set of live musicians and makes all the difference. Bravo, Rivertown. And I guess I hope that this show could be held over. I'm not sure if it will be able to. Probably because of Mardi Gras, I probably won't be able to. But I have to tell you, go. This is a star in the making. I really think that she reminds me so much of a young Sutton Foster that it's not even really funny. She's fantastic. And remember what I said about her being a quadruple threat? Well, she's also a scenic designer. So if she doesn't happen to make it as a singing actress and dancer, then she can always fall back on that. There she is after the show last week. I can't talk to you about how much this production is so good, and I really urge everyone to go see it. That's through January the 31st. Over at the Sanger Theater, meanwhile, there's a love fest to the sounds of the Motor City. That's Motown the musical, better known as Hitsville, USA. The stars of that are we're going to talk about when we come back, but I want to let everybody get a little sneak peek of what this is all about. This is the production of Motown the musical. Of course, are Allison Semmes, who plays Diana Ross, and Chester Gregory plays Berry Gordy. They're both exceptional in their roles. This is a jukebox musical. One of the problems is they're trying to basically get 3 gallons worth of material into a 1-gallon container. They had to cover the Jackson 5, the Temptations, the Four Tops, Smokey Robinson, of course, Marvin Gaye, many of whom left Motown, as it's revealed, and left Gordy for more lucrative contracts at other labels. The choreography, though, is very, very tight. The orchestra led by Daryl Archibald is fantastic. If you love the Supremes and Stevie Wonder, you're going to love this musical. You'll have a great time. It does run a little long, about 2.5 hours long with the intermission, so keep that in mind, but it's going to play through Sunday, and it's Motown the musical at the Sanger Theater. Meanwhile, a few years ago, about 2 years ago, and 5 Big Easy Awards back a while now, Butch Care directed a 5-time Big Easy Award winning musical, The Light in the Piazza. And that included the Best Musical Director, Dennis Asaf, and of course himself as Best Director. Well, they're trying to recapture the magic again because they're going to actually remount this at the Jefferson Performing Arts Center on Airline Drive. It's a family affair again as Ariel Asaf, that of course is Dennis's daughter. She reprises her role as Clara, and Fabrizio, which was played by Rich Arnold, is going to be played by Rich once again. That's the 2 love-struck protagonists. The Light in the Piazza also stars Nancy Asaf, that's Dennis's wife, and of course the mother to Ariel. She's the real-life mother and the mother on stage. She plays Margaret, the rich American who goes to Italy and has trouble as her daughter falls in love. The beautiful music is by Adam Guttell. Now, you may not recognize the name, but Adam Guttell is the son of Mary Rogers, who of course was the daughter of Richard Rogers. He's the grandson of Richard Rogers. The musical is actually sumptuous. And I have to tell you, you'll see some really great performances. Dennis Jesse and John Michael Half, both featured in recent JPAS productions, are also featured. If you missed the show 2 years ago, now's the chance to go see it. It only played one weekend for, I think, 3 days, and that was it. It was over with. So they're going to do 2 weekends. So go check it out at the Jefferson Performing Arts Center through the 31st. Now, I am going to be off for the next couple of weekends. I wanted to also alert everybody about a new production at a new place, a new venue. Hey, we have a new theater. It's the old Gretna Post Office, and it's on Huey P. Avenue and 4th Street. They've converted it into a new place. They're going to put on a production of Claire Booth Luce's play, The Women. It has about, 40 different roles or so in it. It's a fantastic show, and they're going to actually have dinner theater there. They're going to have a buffet starting about 7 o'clock. The show goes on at 8:30. It's $52 for dinner and the show, and if you just want to go see the show, only $37. That's The Women at the new titled Cultural Center for the Arts in Gretna.
Oh, that's great. I love that show.
And speaking of dinner, let's just mention one of the things. One of the best places in New Orleans to dine and see a show, of course, is BB Stage Door Canteen. Well, they are auditioning right now for singing waitresses and singing waiters who are going to actually audition on the 30th of January by appointment only, and they're going to actually do rehearsals in February and start up in March. This could be a possible a career starter. They're going to provide an accompanist. You have to bring with you a World War II era song. And again, you check out Victoria Reed at the Stage Door Canteen. All right.
Thank you very much. Wow. And now it's time for our picks. Val.
See you on the Avenue, AE Cabin Crew.
Great. Poppy.
Mark your calendars because starting on Tuesday, January 26th, Coquette is going to do their No Menu Tuesdays, 5 courses for $45 at Coquette.
Wow.
That's a big deal.
Man.
I have to plug the Arminius Ball. The 48th Ball is February 6th at the Seeger Convention Center in Chalmette at 8 p.m. Tickets are available at the door.
Okay, thank you. Alan.
Okay, while I'll be doing a lot of Mardi Gras stuff, I want to remind everybody about the theater announcements for the theater at St. Claude. Their season announcement will be on Monday at 7 p.m. And again, they'll have information about what's going to be coming up for the next year. And also, a fair to remember, the 1885 fair that they had here in New Orleans. They're going to have the concert season presented by the Louisiana Philharmonic Orchestra. That's going to be free and open to the public Wednesday, and it'll be, again, as many people as can get there. It starts at 7:30. I recommend you get there early. It is very, very crowded.
Hold up your whistle. Okay, Alan Smason, another life that he lives. It's narrator for many carnival balls, and also you write a lot of the scripts.
Absolutely.
Right?
I'm going to be. Yeah, I'll be doing Toth and Carrollton, and then Babylon, and hopefully having enough strength to make it through to Mardi Gras.
Okay, very good. And now my picks. Hollywood Thrift will hold a film wardrobe sale tomorrow and Sunday, January 24th, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Early bird shopping tickets are available for $25 to shop an hour before the general public. All takes place at 1005 Anson Street in Gretna. Visit rickracknola.com. It's a fundraiser for a wonderful group that teaches children how to sew. And you can go to Eventbrite Hollywood Thrift on eventbrite.com. And tomorrow evening, don't miss the Krewe de Vue Parade themed XXX30, of course, starting at 6 p.m. It's the 30th anniversary. Go to krewedevue.org to see their route for details on the Krewe, of course. And the Krewe Delusion, and Blaine Kern Sr. is going to be the king of that at 6:30. Their route is also available at krewdelusion.org. In many instances, they're following Krewe de Vue. For information also about their Bedlam Ball directly after the parade, look to their website. And looking ahead, Bella Blue Entertainment presents a Touche featuring Ben de la Creme of RuPaul's Drag Race at the Joy Theater next Thursday night, January 28th. Tickets available at thejoytheater.com. And the Mardi Gras app guide is now available at iTunes and Google Play. It's only $4.99, so download it. And once again, we're so proud of Arthur Hardy. And we wanted to show you a Louis Armstrong float. It's a brand new float that will be featured in the Zulu Parade this year. Thank you, Dominic Master, for that photo. And thank you all very much for watching. Good night.